Good morning. Hope you're all doing well. Don't forget, we don't have any class tomorrow, but you should be working on your project for next week. We're also going to have a test next week on this chapter, so don't wait till the last minute to get your project done. Look back on your Google Classroom. It's the project that I put on there about drawing a Kosh snowflake or Sierpinski's triangle and making a slide presentation. All right. This is the last section of this chapter. I will have your quizzes from sections 1 through 3 back by the end of today. If you want to go set up an appointment to go over it with me tomorrow on Friday, just send me some times that you are available. All right, so our last section is using recursive rules. I mentioned this at the very beginning of the unit on sequences, that there were two types of rules. Can't write and talk at the same time. They were called explicit rules and recursive rules. So we've already learned how to write the explicit rule for a sequence. That is a rule that tells how an is related to the term's position number, which we call n in the sequence. All right, so those were our formulas for arithmetic, where you just needed to know the first term and the common difference. And then for geometric, you just needed to know the first term and the common ratio. All right, the recursive rule is what you think of more when you're thinking about describing the pattern of a sequence. What is the pattern from one term to the next? So in a recursive rule, it gives the first beginning term or first term, and then a rule that tells how an is related to the term or terms before it or preceding it. All right, so for example, if I had the sequence three, 13, 23, 33, 43, keep going. This is an arithmetic sequence where D is 10. 13 minus 3 is 10, 23 minus 13 is 10, 33 minus 23 is 10. So it's an arithmetic, right? In this case, you can see that all I do is keep adding 10 as I go along. So that's how you define your rule. Now, if this is my first term, this is my second term, this is my fourth term, this is my fifth term, I'm taking the one before it and adding 10. So when we're using our general variable here, a sub n, the one before it would have one less index here. So n minus 1 stands for the term right before an, right? So all I do is take the term before it and add 10. Now this is a nice, easy rule. It says to get the next term, take the term before it and add 10. The problem with this rule is I don't know what I'm starting with. What number am I starting with? So it's important within this rule to tell me that I'm starting with the number 3. Okay? So this would be my recursive rule right here. To find an, take an minus 1, which is the number before it, add 10. I'm going to start with 3, and then I'm going to keep going. All right, let's look at the rule if an example where we might have a geometric sequence. So for example, I have 16, 40, 100, 250, 625, ... Okay? This rule is I am multiplying by 2.5. All right? 2.5 times 16 is 40. 2.5 of 4 times 40 is 100. 2.5 times 100 is 250. 2.5 times 250 is 625. So the ratio here, the common ratio, is 2.5. All right, so to define our rule here, for any term, we take the term before it. So for an, we take the term right before it, which is n sub n minus 1, and we multiply it by 2.5. Or I could write that as an equals 2.5 times a to the n minus 1. And again, I just need to know where I'm starting. My first term in this one is I want to say a1 is 16. All right, so these rules take the term before and tell me what to do to get the next term. All right, so going back up here, let us write down the general formulas. I'm just looking for Mary Sarah. The general formulas for recursive rules. All right, so for an arithmetic sequence, you do an equals an minus 1 plus d, and then you tell me what the first term equals. For geometric, you take r and you multiply it by an minus 1, and again you need to tell me where I'm starting, what the first term is. Okay? All right, I'm going to give you a recursive rule and we're going to practice writing out the terms. Okay, so here is a rule. Okay, so I'm given a rule. I want you to write the first 6 terms. So I'm starting with negative 11. And then the rule says to get this one here, I'm going to take the one before it, which is negative 11, and add 5. So negative 11 plus 5 is negative 6. Now to find this term, it says take the one before it, add 5. So I get negative 1. And then I just keep going. So there are my first 6 terms in that sequence. All right, recursive rules are pretty straightforward. This should be a quick section for you to do. You have a worksheet to do. Tomorrow you're going to work on your project. Monday we will do some review. Maybe look at some word problems that you use sequences and series for, and either have a test on Tuesday or Wednesday. I have to look at the calendar, okay? All right, have a great day, everybody. Bye.